Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, my name is Audrey. I post 2 new videos every week, and if you hit that red subscribe button, you'll be notified when each video goes live. In today's video, I want to share some of the styling tips that I rely on to look expensive and make sure that I feel put together every single day. My first tip is when in doubt, go monochromatic. So I'm sure by now you've all heard the power of going monochrome when wearing the same shade from head to toe, and how a lot of people think that it makes you look sophisticated, it makes you look chic, taller, and thinner. So really it seems like kind of a catch-all formula for looking your best, and I find that it really is true. If I wear similar shades from head to toe with thoughtful pieces and then complement it with delicate accessories, my whole entire look pops and I really do feel and look more expensive. My next tip is to keep it simple. So no matter what you're wearing, if you keep things simplistic, classic, and minimal with very tasteful accessories, you will always look thoughtful and expensive. There's just something about chic separates when paired together with, like I said, delicate, thoughtful accessories that makes it look like you took a lot of time to get dressed and that each piece cost more than it may have actually cost you. My next tip brings us to footwear. Now, I've found in my experience that your shoes really have the ability to make or break an entire outfit. So when choosing footwear, I keep a couple things in mind to ensure that I'm choosing the most versatile piece and something that will complement the most items in my wardrobe. So the first thing I like to keep in mind when picking shoes for my outfits and then my overall wardrobe is to keep things structured. If the name of the game is to look luxe, then you definitely want to opt for more structured pieces in both your clothing and your accessories. So I find that delicate ballet flats with a very slight heel and loafers and very classic silhouettes like that have a way of instantly elevating everything else that you're wearing and really taking your entire look up to the next level. So using the example of ballet flats, I find that if you pick a very simple ballet flat with no delineation between the heel and the sole, it can look a little bit more cheap even if it wasn't. So when opting for a flatter shoe like that, try to find something with the slightest little bit of heel. So I'll include some images here of what I kind of recommend, and I found that by doing so, you instantly elevate your entire look because people will register that silhouette as being more expensive on your feet and assume the rest of your outfit follows suit. Now, along those same lines, a very safe general rule of thumb to follow if you want to look expensive is to match your shoes to your handbag. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say that's incredibly antiquated and old school, and while that is true, and there are definitely ways that you can mix and match different footwear and shoes in different shades and materials and still look luxe, I think that if you're just starting out and you want something that always hits the mark, then opt for neutrals in both your handbag and your shoes and then match the two, because that'll make your whole look feel and look cohesive, which again will read expensive. Next up all comes down to how you wear something. So you can have the most expensive item or the most inexpensive item, and if you don't wear it well, and you don't wear it confidently, and you don't style it to suit you and your personal lifestyle, then it's never gonna look as luxe as it could. So one thing that I really love to do is to take anything that I'm wearing and pop a collar, drape something over my shoulders, roll a sleeve, half tuck something. Those little tweaks really go a long distance in making your overall look feel more thoughtful, which again, makes it look more expensive. Another rule of thumb that I like to follow when getting dressed in the morning is the rule of threes. So generally speaking, I will start every outfit with a top and a bottom, and then I always add a third piece. And that third piece should be some standout accessory of some sort. So whether that's a necklace, a great pair of earrings, a fun bracelet, a great handbag, a silk scarf, the possibilities are truly endless. But the whole concept behind this is that by adding a third piece, you look like you did more than just throw on basics. So you can be wearing something super simplistic like a t-shirt and jeans, and the addition of a silk scarf really helps take the whole look up another notch. Next, I like to make sure that everything that I'm wearing fits me well. So I try to avoid things that are too tight from head to toe. I like to mix it up a little bit and have something looser up top if I have really slim bottoms, or vice versa. And I find that that juxtaposition, again, makes everything look more thoughtful and makes it look more bespoke and custom to you. And if things look like they were made for your body, then people will automatically assume that you paid a crazy amount for it, even if you didn't. So along those same lines, I've touched on this in past videos, but I definitely recommend taking anything to a tailor that doesn't fit you quite right. So if you've got a great jacket that you absolutely love, but it's just a little off, then by taking it to a tailor, you'll again give it that bespoke and custom look, and people will assume that it was made specifically for you. Another thing that I like to do to help my outfits feel more expensive is to add different textures. So whether you're working with different textures all within the same color family or playing off of complementary colors, by adding different textures to your look, you'll look like you had your outfit put together by a personal stylist, which always reads expensive. So it's something that I really love to do and I highly recommend it. Now, you know how much I love statement jewelry and very bold accessories, but I do find that if I want to look instantly luxe, I keep my accessories and my jewelry very classic and clean. So I opt for very minimal pieces that are very delicate because that tends to read more expensive regardless of the price point. So for example, let's say you're looking for a piece that you can wear every single day. It'll go with so many different things and it will always look luxe. Then I recommend very delicate rings. I recommend something that has an engraving in it of some sort. So very delicate necklaces with your initials in it or a birth date, a special thing like that really helps your whole outfit feel more custom to you, which again goes into not only elevating your personal style, but also making you look and feel more expensive. Now, along those same lines, nothing beats a classic watch. So when all else fails, by pairing your look with a very simplistic, minimal, classic watch, you're gonna instantly feel elevated and you're gonna look totally custom. So I love watches with very delicate bands. A medium to small face I find is the most flattering with most silhouettes. And I find that you can get most watches at varying price points in very high quality that look very expensive. So I'll link some of my favorites down below for you. Now, another thing that goes very far in making your overall outfit look expensive is to mind your undergarments. Now, this might seem very obvious to some of you, but always make sure that you check your outfit in full 360. So get someone to spot check the back if you don't have a full-length mirror, and make sure that you don't have any visible panty lines. Make sure that your undergarments aren't showing, unless of course that's the look you're going for. And then always make sure that things fit you appropriately. You don't want to bunch or bulge in any uncomfortable spots because it'll make you feel uncomfortable, which doesn't look expensive. And then also, one thing that's very important to keep in mind when it comes to this is always, always, always make sure that you never pair white undergarments with a white piece of clothing. So whether it's white shorts, white pants, or a white shirt, steer clear of white undergarments because they will beam like a lighthouse from underneath your clothes. So it's one thing that you definitely have to keep in mind. Always opt for beige or skin tone because it's going to be virtually translucent underneath your article of clothing. And my last tip is to make sure that everything you're wearing is in great condition. So try to avoid wearing anything that has tears or rips or scuffs. Anything that has visible flaws like that will really detract from the piece, and people will notice the imperfection rather than the clothing and your overall outfit. So it's really something that plays into the details of your overall look that ultimately do make you look more expensive. And that's everything. Those are some of the styling tips that I like to keep in mind when getting dressed to make sure that I look and feel expensive. I'm working on a part 3 of this series as well, where I'm going to share some outfit combinations that always look like $1,000,000. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.